What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to continue the series, this monthly series that we're doing, where we look at the previous month and then have an outlook for the upcoming month. And so we're doing an April review and May outlook. And if you remember, way back at the end of March, I did not have many expectations for April. I expected it to be very, very quiet. And unfortunately, I was right. It's so bad right now. Everything is just so quiet. Bitcoin went down. Actually, Bitcoin kind of recovered, but assets are down. People are just uninterested, disinterested. So I'm hopeful that May will be a better month, because it's like we had this huge boom at the beginning of the month with the delivery of Land Phase 1, which was very exciting. So I want to give that. It was very exciting, but since then, it's just been, it's just been meh. Everybody's been taking a little bit of a breather. And so we're going to go through these periods. That is just what it is. So my only expectations for April, and keep in mind, I know we technically got Land Phase 1 in April 4th, but I didn't count that for this month because they were really trying to get it back in March. So the only expectations that we had for April were the promo card sale, and that the SPS was going to be given out to surveyed land only, as that was a proposal that Jarvie had put forth around that time, which had passed. So we did not get the promo card sale, although we did get the promo card stats. You can see here down on the actual list, but we did get the SPS to surveyed land, which was great. So it forced a lot of people to start surveying their land. We burned through like 1 billion plus DEC. And life is good, or at least it's getting better. The other parts are other things that we did in April, and I know some of these might seem a little trivial, but I do want to highlight the fact that the team has been releasing cool stuff and working on things, even if it's just small quality of life stuff every single week. So we got the guild mailbox, which I haven't made much use of, but I'm sure for a lot of newer players or players that are bouncing around guilds and weighing different invitations and options, I'm sure that has been great for you. We also have the DECB being available for guilds. That was a recent thing. And then I think in the middle of April, we had the ability to spend both DEC and DECB on your land when you were trying to survey it, because if you remember, you could only use one or the other. Now you can use a combination of both as we try to burn through the remainder of the DECB supply. Time crystals, that was also made transferable. So you now are able to transfer your time crystals. Tournament and brawl notifications. Again, small quality of life stuff, but if you remember, Darkest Night on like one of the previous videos, or one of the previous things that we had, live streams, had talked about how he didn't want to be, he like avoided tournaments for the longest time just because the notifications were so annoying. So little stuff like that where you can turn on and off or customize these notifications go a long way, because some people it just bothers them, and some people it doesn't matter. But either way, love all the quality of life stuff. Speaking of quality of life, sound added to land. This was something really exciting. We all got to experience a little bit more from our plots or our deeds or whatever it is that we have. The DEC SPS LP display was consolidated. So if you follow the pools, there used to be two different things there. Those just got consolidated into one. Again, small quality of life. But the big things, in my opinion at least, SPS delegation did go live in this most recent maintenance window. Obviously, the only thing that you can really use it for right now is tournaments, but we do know that hopefully SPS staking as a requirement to replace CP is going to be coming hopefully around the corner. We'll get into that in a minute. And then land locking, which I think is really important. I mean, land is going for quite a bit, and so quite a bit in terms of value. So you want to be able to lock them and protect your account as much as possible, just like you do with your cards. And of course, we got the promo card stats as well, and the sale is coming up next week. So let's go ahead and see what our expectations are for the month of May. And this list probably is going to be missing a couple of things, so I'm going to rely on you guys to see if there's anything that I did not include. But we got the promo card sale coming on in a couple of days here. It's going to be on May 2nd. Now, here are my guesses for what we can expect, right? SPS staking to replace CP. Now, when Matt came on and talked about how, SPS delegation would be coming in a couple weeks, that ended up coming in 1 week, actually. And then he said, following that, hopefully a couple weeks after that, we would get the SPS staking requirements. So with everything that is set to happen in May, with everything that is set to happen in June, my guess would be that as long as they can swing it and they have the resources and, the time to be able to do this, they would want to get the SPS staking requirements done in May, considering that, this would constitute the whole couple of weeks after SPS delegation goes live. So I don't know that we're going to get it this week or even next week, but I believe there are 5 maintenance windows in the month of May. I think we got a special one. Yeah, there you go. So 2nd, 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. Again, there's a holiday happening in the U.S. here on the 29th, but I think it could very well happen in the second half of May sometime that we get this SPS staking requirements to replace collection power. The other thing, or the next one, is tower defense related, but we can get the SolKeep Beta 2.0. Now, we got the dev diary saying that was coming soon. Of course, these dev diaries seem to be on a delay, and everything that they promise comes out a little bit later than they usually say. So I'm hopeful that we get this in May, considering that the game is going to drop in June. So I'm actually confident. I know I'm just being a little salty here, but I'm actually confident that we'll probably get something from SolKeep in the month of May, because if we don't get the beta 2.0 until June, then I would say that it's probably a fair assumption to think that SolKeep will probably be pushed to July if we don't get it in the month of May, if we don't get the beta 2.0 in the month of May. We also have guild building updates. Now, we know that the team wants to add some new guild buildings and new functionality to guilds overall. So my hope is that, similar to the SPS staking requirement, that is something we will see at least the beginning or initial part of in the month of May, just because I'm sure they don't want to be handling all of this in June when you got land phase 1.5, when you have SolKeep and GLG and all that. So my hope is that we get to see some of that. Again, 5 release windows or maintenance windows means that, again, could be in the second half of the month. We know that Cryptomancer hopefully is working on it now, and that the team had talked through a lot of the different ideas, but that remains to be seen. But I do feel relatively confident that we're going to get something, mainly because the most recent update that we have is Aggie saying last week, or in the last town hall, that he's hoping we get some guild upgrades by the end of May. Now, to get into a little bit more speculative stuff, anti-bot, this is more so just a topic, right? We have the ranked rewards proposal for Modern going on right now. So to me, that's, here's the thing. I think that's going to find a resolution one way or another, obviously. But if it does not pass, then I do believe there may be a follow-up to it. Mainly because Aggie was saying that, sometimes these proposals don't pass, and then the second one comes along that's better, right? Better designed, better worded, whatever the case is. I don't know how we necessarily make it better to convince the people who vote no to vote yes. But keep in mind, the proposal period takes about 14 days, and this is going to end in about 4 days. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something as a follow-up if it does not pass at some point within the month of May that will not necessarily get implemented, but could be proposed and then voted on over that 2-week period. First the pre-proposal and then the actual proposal. And then this was teased in Mav Chat, and I made a video about it, but Matt said that they are trying to implement, or at least offer an option to implement, some kind of anti-bot policies for tournaments. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that, and I'm really, really hoping that we hear more about that in the month of May, hopefully by mid-May, if I can request anything, just because I'm planning to do a lot with tournaments starting in the summer, and it'd be great to know what tools we'll have available to us in that time, or at least ahead of time. And then let's see here. Rift Watcher for DEC proposal. Matt teased this on a recent town hall. He also potentially teased a different, we can just get into it. Land 1.5 white paper proposals. So he teased like a maxed production point value on land, as well as some potential tweaks to castles and keeps. So I think, in the month of May, we'll probably hear a little bit more about that. But that is really all I have in my May expectations. I don't know what else there is. We can see here on the roadmap. The only thing that I didn't necessarily touch upon is like the SPS validator nodes. They're saying that they're going to get the testnet live, but I mean that could happen, but I don't think that doesn't really mean anything to us just yet. If the testnet goes live, that's awesome, but it won't really be until Q3 or the future when the mainnet goes live that'll actually impact us. The other thing that I left off here was the one-click set rentals. Again, we may get that, but I wonder if it has been deprioritized simply because of the fact that there's some awesome third-party tools out there, namely the deck feature on Peak Monsters. So, aside from that, that's kind of all we really have to look at. And keep in mind, this Age of the Minotaur is supposed to go only until May 23rd. So I think it was a little premature for them to put Land Phase 1.5 on here. That probably should have been set for the future, because their quarters, or their ages, I should say, do not nicely align with the regular quarter system, right? Where it be beginning of April to the end of June. So I don't think there's any chance that we get Land Phase 1.5 in the next 23 days, but I guess you never know. So, but I'm not gonna put my money on that. I'm definitely not gonna add it to the list here. It sounds like that's gonna be a June thing based on recent town halls. So that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If there's something that I missed, if there's something that you don't think is gonna get on there, you want to get a little bearish, a little salty in the comments. Let's go. What from here do you not think is gonna make it into the month of May? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.